Hello and welcome back to Where Feng Shui Meets Fashion. Today's topic is on moving and relocation tips because it's a big topic here in LA right now. And one of the biggest reasons folks usually reach out to me. Here's your go-to checklist from the Feng Shui lady of my top 5 Feng Shui tips for selecting your ideal home. Moving is a great opportunity to upgrade your life and start a whole new chapter for yourself. My goal here is to share some key tips for selecting the most supportive and auspicious environment for yourself. When it comes to selecting the ideal space for your new home or business, there are definitely some feng shui red flags that people can look out for. Now, feng shui is an ancient earth science that offers amazing space planning tools that are as essential today as ever. In a fast-paced world that is so saturated with technology, we need a soft place to land and unplug. We need sacred space. My name is Laura Carrillo, aka the Feng Shui Lady, and my practice is called Narrative Space Feng Shui. I see my work as space therapy, and people's spaces are both a reflection and an extension of who they are and what's going on with them. Clients typically reach out to me when they are either about to move or have just moved. This recurring theme inspired me to write this story so that I could share the feng shui deal breakers and makers I see every day and help you to avoid some of the less desirable circumstances people fall into when they move into a space that has bad feng shui. Now, listen, even I have lived in spaces that have had really bad feng shui, so I speak from experience. In fact, it's probably the reason that led me to become a feng shui consultant. I actually believe that there are reasons and valuable experiences and lessons to be learned from every space we inhabit, good, bad, or otherwise. Each new space is like a new chapter. Even within a single location or home, there is so much that you can do to change and shift the energy. Redecorating, remodeling, all of that, even cleaning, can reboot your environment and your personal narrative in both practical and magical ways. For the purposes of this story, I will focus on best practices for selecting a new space from a feng shui perspective. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is like a triangle, your home and shelter comes only second to food and water in importance. And that is how critical, I believe, personal sacred space to be. Feng Shui can help you choose a space where you at least have a good foundation for success. Life is challenging enough without your personal space creating a deficit. The first thing I look at is the actual address and numerology of a space to ascertain what the energetic theme is for the space and whether that is in alignment with the goals and intentions of the client. Each number has a specific vibration and narrative. So you want to add up all of the numbers of an address and reduce them to a single digit in order to know what the numerology is. So if you live in an apartment building, you want to focus on the unit number as it has the biggest impact. Now, you can also look at the building number for the vibe of the building, and you can add the apartment number with the unit number and reduce it to a single digit for a big picture look at the overall space. But most importantly, you will want to focus on the individual unit number reduced to a single digit. You can go even deeper by exploring the numerology of your name and see if it is compatible with the numerology of the home. For this, I recommend an actual numerology or Feng Shui consultation to get into that level of depth. Here are the themes of the different house numbers. 1 is singular. It's initiating energy, great for singles who want to be single. Ones are also really good for new ventures, businesses, when you just moved and starting a new chapter. A great home for a fresh start or a good location for a brand new business. 2, fabulous for couples or businesses that have something to do with romance or partnership. A 2 can make a single person long for a relationship, but it's ideal for new couples or singles who want to ultimately be in a couple. 3 is an active space. It's fun. It's great for social activities, parties, good for businesses that want to attract new customers and community. 3s are fun. 4, this number has dual meanings, and I typically try to avoid it because it rhymes with death in Chinese. It is, however, a grounding number in numerology, and it can also mean the end of a way of life or chapter for someone. So it supports hard work and slow, steady progress. Not the sexiest number, but not necessarily bad for everyone. 5 is all about comings and goings. It's a fun number with a lot of traveling energy or visitor energy. It's dramatic, it's parties, it's fights, it's highs and lows. It's considered a temporary residence or one of constant change and transformation. It's kind of got like hotel energy. 6 is the most harmonious number and great for families, therapists' offices, places of healing or community. It's a great location for a spa or a home for those who enjoy community and family. People will want to visit and may not want to leave. Number 7 is a very spiritual number and a great place for those who seek sanctuary. A good space for therapeutic businesses or a great home for someone who's very meditative and spiritual. 8. I live in an 8. It's the most ambitious number for those who want to achieve success and are focused on working for that success. 8 is a prosperous number. It is obviously a good number for businesses and people who are focused on their professions. 9 is a number of completion and typically a dwelling where people live for extended periods. It's also a very spiritual number and great for those who want to plant roots. So those are the 9 house numbers for you to consider. Deal makers and breakers. Listen, knowledge is power, and while Feng Shui is not a way for you to skip your process, these deal makers and breakers can help you avoid more challenging spaces. That said, sometimes we can't avoid certain situations because they are fated. So I hope these tips help you navigate whatever path you are on so that you can ultimately get to your happy place. Now, of my top 5 tips to factor into your decision-making process, numerology, as mentioned earlier, is first thing that I look at. So you want to consider all of the numbers discussed above and which ones thematically speak to where you would like to be. I told you about the number 4 and how it might be best to avoid unless you have a strong affinity with the number 4. I have lived in a 4 and can speak at length about my cautionary tale. However, in my case, 4 is a particularly challenging number because it's the only number that's missing from my name, which basically means I have karma associated with that number. When this happens, then the most challenging influences of that number manifest for you so that you can burn through that karma. That said, it was a valuable experience that actually inspired me to become a Feng Shui consultant. So there's that. We grow from challenge. I grew from my 4 experience. So the next equally important factor is the floor plan and how it relates to the Bagua or energetic map in Feng Shui. If possible, you want to look for a space that is either a square or rectangular shape. Please avoid L shapes in L-shaped homes because they are energetically missing a part of the bagua or energetic map in Feng Shui. And this can mean that you are missing a major life theme like the love gua or the prosperity gua. You could be missing at least one or several guas. There are cures for these deficits. However, the imbalance becomes part of your narrative while you inhabit that space. And when I moved into a space that was missing the career gua, it was an L shape, I was immediately laid off and unable to secure full-time work until just after moving out of the home. So even though it was a beautiful space and my time there was valuable, I would never want to repeat that experience. I always look for a home with a career gua. Number 3 factor that I look at is safety and privacy. If you have a choice between, say, a downstairs front of the building apartment or something upstairs and in back, choose upstairs and in back of the building. Think of it in terms of safety and privacy. Upstairs is better than downstairs, and the back is better than the front. Now, there are caveats to this, as upstairs and front can be just fine, especially if the view is beautiful. It's just about having some separation between the entrance. So there's different variables to look at. Factor number 4 on my mission critical list of external factors, there are a number of red flags like a home that is situated at the end of a cul-de-sac or a T-shaped intersection. The Sha Qi or negative energy coming at your location can be way too intense and or too fast. You'll find that a lot of car accidents happen at T-shaped intersections. A lot of electrical lines close by can also create energetic distress or excessive EMFs. And there are many external factors to consider. There are also various Feng Shui cures for most of these factors, but the factors still exist. And it's the difference between having to take medicine because you are constantly exposed to immune depleting circumstances or being in good health and safe from harm. So there is medicine and cures for these issues, but I'd prefer not to have the issues. The final factor in my list of 5 is curb appeal. I am a big fan of curb appeal. The surrounding circumstances of the neighborhood have an energetic impact on your experience of life and your personal space. A beautiful, relaxing, safe setting makes a huge difference. Is it a busy street? Are there potholes? Are the lawns maintained and manicured? Consider what is outside and how that will impact your view and sense of well-being. I have touched on the 5 key things that I personally look for when selecting a new space, but there are still many more factors to consider. So a professional consultation can go a long way to helping you understand what all the factors are, what cures are available, and what the cost-benefit analysis is for a particular location. Knowing the pros and cons up front can help you make the best decision for your sacred transition. To learn more or work with me, visit my Linktree. Thank you so much for joining me. You can reach out to me directly via my scheduler, my website, and all the links are below. Many blessings, my friends, and ciao for now.